a lot of my responsibility as sheriff, you have to be toughened to a lot of situations, but you can't lose sight of compassion at all. You can't deal with the types of things that you have to deal with as sheriff without a compassion. I mean, how do you go to the scene of a homicide and look at the victims laying there and not feel something for those victims and the families of those victims? You get tough on the apprehension side and looking at it, and you get dogged in your response to those things, and you really work and work and work to identify those people that are responsible. But at the same time, you carry those emotions in your heart with you because you know what that tragedy has brought to that particular family. And it is especially challenging from a compassion standpoint when you're dealing with young kids. I can remember some of the different homicides that I've handled over the years. I can remember the names, the locations. Those are things that you never forget. You always carry them with you. I tend to sometimes, I'll remember a homicide I may have handled 35 years ago. I won't remember the defendant's name, but I can tell you everything you want to know about the victim. I think that's the compassion side of things. And I think that's a good thing. When you lose sight of compassion, I think it's time to go do something else for a living. Because when you deal with strictly from a cold, hardened standpoint, that's unfair. You can't do that. Looking at the defendants, I don't know if I've ever had compassion for a defendant that's committed a major crime. They leave a tremendous wake in their path, a wake of destruction and despair and agony, and they change people's lives forever. When you look at the victims of some of these crimes, those families will never be the same. They'll miss a birthday, they'll miss a Christmas, sit around the table at Thanksgiving time, and there's always part of the life that's going to be missing. And we should never lose sight of that, because I think that realization and the role that compassion plays for the victims of crime strengthens the hardened side of us to go out and get something done about who committed that crime.